Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Liz's emergency call to Lucky summons Aiden's dad after disaster strikes. General Hospital. GH spoilers reveal that Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Hurst, has been dealing with some suspicions about Aiden Weber's, Tristan Riggs, crisis at school. Aiden tried to explain away the pink paint on his backpack, but Liz was skeptical, especially since Aiden came home another time with paint in his hair. It seems like Aiden is being targeted at school, so this probably has something to do with him being gay and showing romantic interest in Tobias. Of course, the writers appear to have shelved this storyline for the time being since there hasn't been any movement on it since May. However, there's a good chance it's going to come back around, particularly now that we know Jonathan Jackson will be reprising his role as Lucky Spencer later this summer. What might bring Lucky home to Port Charles? Could Liz ultimately make an emergency call to Lucky and summon Aiden's dad after disaster strikes? It's possible that the drama at school could get out of hand. It's easy to imagine Aiden getting targeted in some way that puts him in real danger, so he could get seriously injured by the end of all this. Then again, maybe Aiden could get caught up in some danger related to Jake Weber, Hudson West, instead. If Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, inadvertently drags Jake into a dangerous situation that spills over onto Aiden, that could also lead to trouble. Regardless, Aiden might land at GH and could potentially wind up fighting for his life. Since Aiden is Lucky's son, a life-threatening ordeal would certainly be enough to bring his dad back to PC. It just seems like it'll take something big to serve as the catalyst for Lucky's return, so perhaps Aiden will be the main reason for his comeback. Elizabeth may send out an SOS that brings Lucky rushing home, so stick with us for more predictions on all the mayhem. General Hospital spoilers say Lucky will have plenty of catching up to do once he's on canvas again, so stay tuned for updates on all the shocking news he'll face. Elizabeth Weber had always been a rock for her children, balancing the chaos of Port Charles with the needs of her family. But on this particular stormy night, the sound of her phone ringing sent a chill down her spine. It was an emergency call from Aiden's school. Her heart pounded as she answered, praying it wasn't what she feared. "Miss Weber, it's Principal Harris. There's been an accident." Liz felt the room spin. "What happened? Is Aiden all right?" "He's been taken to General Hospital. He had an accident during the school play rehearsal. We're not sure how serious it is, but you should get there as soon as possible." Her heart racing, Liz grabbed her keys and rushed out the door, barely remembering to lock it behind her. The drive to the hospital was a blur of worry and worst-case scenarios. When she arrived, she was directed to the emergency room, where she found Aiden lying on a gurney, his face pale but conscious. "Mom." Aiden's voice was weak but reassuringly coherent. "I'm here, sweetheart." Liz squeezed his hand. "What happened?" Aiden's eyes filled with tears. "I fell from the stage. I don't remember much, just waking up here." Liz fought back her own tears. "It's going to be okay, Aiden. The doctors will take care of you." Just then, Dr. Terry Randolph, a close friend and trusted physician, approached. "Liz, can we talk for a moment?" Liz nodded, her heart in her throat as she followed Terry to a quieter corner of the emergency room. "Aiden has a concussion and a broken arm," Terry began gently. "We're running a few more tests to make sure there's no internal bleeding, but he's stable for now." Liz felt a wave of relief, but also a surge of guilt. "Thank you, Terry. I should have been more careful. I should have. Liz, accidents happen. The important thing is that Aiden is here and getting the care he needs." As Liz returned to Aiden's side, she knew there was one more thing she had to do. Aiden's father, Lucky Spencer, needed to know, It had been years since Lucky had been a consistent presence in their lives, but he deserved to know about his son's condition. Taking a deep breath, Liz dialed Lucky's number. Lucky's voice was cautious, a mixture of surprise and concern. "Lucky, it's Aiden. He's had an accident. He's at General Hospital." There was a pause, then Lucky's tone shifted to one of determination. "I'm on my way." As Liz hung up, she glanced at Aiden, who had dozed off. The wait for Lucky felt interminable, each minute stretching into an eternity. Finally, the doors to the emergency room swung open, and Lucky rushed in, his face etched with worry. Lucky's eyes found hers, and for a moment, the years of distance and estrangement fell away. They were just two parents, united in their concern for their child. "He's stable," Liz said, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "A concussion and a broken arm, but the doctors are optimistic." Lucky nodded, his gaze shifting to Aiden. "Can I see him?" Of course. Liz led Lucky to Aiden's bedside, where he stood for a moment, taking in the sight of his son. "Aiden, buddy," Lucky whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I'm here." Aiden's eyes fluttered open. "Dad." "I'm here," Lucky repeated, his hand gently touching Aiden's uninjured arm. "You're going to be okay." The hours that followed were a whirlwind of medical updates and quiet conversations. Liz and Lucky sat side by side, united in their vigil. Despite the circumstances, there was a sense of comfort in having Lucky there. They had their differences, but their love for Aiden was undeniable. As night turned into dawn, Aiden's condition continued to improve. The doctors confirmed there was no internal bleeding, and he was moved to a regular room for observation. Exhausted but relieved, Liz and Lucky took a moment to catch their breath. "Thank you for coming," Liz said quietly, her eyes meeting Lucky's. "I wouldn't be anywhere else," Lucky replied. "I should have been around more. For both of you." Liz sighed. "We can't change the past, Lucky. But maybe we can do better moving forward." Lucky nodded, a hopeful smile playing on his lips. "I'd like that." In the days that followed, as Aiden healed, Liz and Lucky found themselves spending more time together, reminiscing about old times and discussing the future. The walls they had built over the years began to crumble, replaced by a renewed sense of partnership. Aiden's accident had been a wake-up call for both of them. It reminded them of the importance of family and the strength that came from facing challenges together. As Aiden's health improved, so did the bond between his parents. They weren't perfect, and there were still many issues to work through. But for the first time in a long time, they felt like a team.